40 years.
That's correct.
What is the vision? What do you hope to accomplish with AVIQ?
Well, one of the visions, one of it is personal, is that when I was young and getting into audio, my biggest influence was my father, who listened to every type of music there was. So I grew up listening to everything, and I love music. But we would go to music stores and we'd go to record stores together and look through stuff, and it was something we did together. And you don't see that happening. And then stores went away completely and there was nowhere to go. And then technology kept advancing, but how you interface with the technology didn't necessarily keep up. Once I kind of saw that we were starting to get a grip on digital sound and we were starting to improve that, and the fact that vinyl cannot go away even though they've tried as hard as they can, I thought, well, what's missing is a place where people can go and touch this stuff, where you can go and sit down, where there's no pressure, where you get to learn, where you have fun, where you want to bring your grandkids, where you want to bring your kids, a place where when you bring your wife, she goes, I had no idea. So for 40 years, I've been thinking someone needs to do it. Why I did it is I'm crazy.
After 30 years, I'll agree with that one.
Yeah, well, we've known each other a long time. But crazy, I'm hoping in a good way, because I think we're seeing, and what we see, people coming in and the smiles that people leave with on their face, having listened to maybe a recording that their mother used to sing to or something. And all of a sudden, all these memories come streaming back. And you and I have done this for people for a long time, but now we have a place where we can do it better than anybody else.
I like that. We are drawing from a much larger area than Huntsville.
That is true. Part of the vision was to make this a destination in the Southeast for people that wanted to listen to good music, wanted to have a good day out, wanted to explore what the possibilities are. And we've been blessed. We're pulling people out of 5 states right now. I hope it grows, and nationally, somehow or another, we put our name on the map. One of the first steps was working with the company Focal Name and doing a boutique that is called Focal Powered by Name. There are, I believe, 9 of them in North America. One of them's in Huntsville. You want to go listen to another one, you go to Miami or you go to Dallas. And the fact that we've got that stamp on it in Huntsville shows that with persistence and with meeting with manufacturers and showing them the potential of Huntsville, and that it is an emerging market, and that we have a very intelligent population. But I just think it's a magic place right now. The thing that you and I were talking one day, and you were talking to me about how Huntsville grew from a cotton town into what it is now, and that our economy and everything has been based on very intelligent people, bringing in the smartest people on the planet to do research here, to put a man on the moon, to help us stay safe, our defense industry. And you and I sat down and had a long talk about it. So you probably could say this a little better than me, but give us a short snip on that.
One of the favorite things that I've read is that I was blessed to grow up in Huntsville, being educated next to the children of the greatest minds in the world. And when I look back, that is actually who was living here. Rocket science, you've got a brilliant son, working in optics.
Edit that part out.
I'll get it in somehow. And so yes, we are blessed. We have intelligent. I'm also always been amazed that they may be a rocket scientist, but they're a guitarist also. I can go see guys who are putting men on the moon and then listen to them in a rock band that night. Huntsville is unique, and it's always been that way. We're
blessed that the manufacturers we deal with all are trying to manufacture really good stuff. I mean, they're the pros. We have really good relationships with them. And once you get to know a lot of these guys, they've become very close friends and allies, and do all sorts of stuff to help us take care of our customers. I can't thank them enough. If this goes out and they get to see it, don't let it go to your head. I'm still calling for favors.
Regularly.
Regularly, yeah, okay. They'll never answer another phone call I make. But anyway, this is all unique and it's fun, and we're at an interesting time in Huntsville. Huntsville is trying to focus and bring in all of this new music stuff, the Orion, trying to bring in artists. One of the interesting things that you have is a collection of concert tickets from this area. They go back to the 70s. And if you didn't know, in the 74, 75, I think 75, you could see Kiss for $6.
And the Eagles for $5.
And yeah, but you have all the tickets. Well, those were the bands that used to come here. And you explained to me once why Huntsville used to have all this great music here in the 70s and 80s or whatever, and it kind of dissipated. Well, what happened to what are they trying to get back to?
Well, in the 70s, the Civic Center was new. It was larger than arenas in Nashville and Birmingham. And Nashville and Birmingham had to build. So we got all the large bands. Even if they were playing Nashville one night and Birmingham or Atlanta the next, they would make a stop in Huntsville because we had the newest, largest venue. So it was a blessed time to be here as far as seeing. But bands like Kiss also had business here. TLS over on Meridian Street did the explosions, did the lights for Kiss, and later Reba McEntire. Everybody, McEntire. Another edit. Anyway.
I'll leave it in. Leave it in.
And so, but back to our manufacturers, we're also a KEF Elite dealer.
That is correct.
20 in the country.
That is correct.
And what does it take to be a KEF Elite dealer? Besides an investment.
Okay. Keep that number to myself.
Yeah.
No, it's not that hard. When you have good products, it's not that hard. To be an elite dealer has a lot to do with what level of merchandise from a manufacturer you're willing to invest in to show their customers. So we have KEF blades, which are their top of the line speaker. I don't know of 3 places that have them in the Southeast, much less hooked up and ready to play. And the other thing is that everything that we have in the store is hooked up. We don't have static displays. If you come in here, we have stereos that work. You sit you down, had a guy here this morning, and he spent 6 hours with an iPad going from system to system to system to system. Now he's so excited, he thinks he can show his wife how excited he is.
I understand.
We'll see how that works. But we have had extremely good luck with KEF. They're a good product. They support us very well, as do, to be honest with you, all of our vendors have been really good about giving us a hand answering our questions. To be an elite dealer and to be in Huntsville, I think kind of validates a lot of what we were trying to prove about Huntsville. This is really more about Huntsville than it is about us. We could be somewhere else where we didn't have the advantage of a very intelligent customer who understands the science behind what these companies are doing now. And they come in with questions, and when we get questions we can't answer, then we have the resources, and they're really good about helping us. But being an elite dealer for anyone, I think we're on our way to pull that off with a couple of more companies this year.
One of the things standing behind us are the Magnapans. How long did you chase Magnapan to get them?
Oh, let me see. When I was a real small child, I started making phone calls. No, I went after Magnapan for 20 years.
It was.
And for 20 years, I called them, bugged them. I won't name names, Wendell. But they were always changing their marketing strategy and how they wanted to do business. So I would always figure out some way to morph into that type of business so I could get the product, because people kept asking me for it. And then I'd call them and say, hey, I got this worked out. Wendell, he goes, no, we went to boutiques. I was like, okay, so how do I do a boutique? And so we just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Finally, I called one day and said, hey, I want to be a dealer. And someone answered the phone and we talked a little while. They said, well, send me pictures. That's all I needed. I sent them pictures and they were like, holy crap, where is this? And I told them, they go, wait a minute. I think I've had a customer there. I said, you want more? So anyway, that kind of worked out. We're now a dealer. It's a unique product, a panel speaker. They have a following that is dedicated, I guess is the best way to put it. But it's a unique speaker. It has a really good place. It's got a great history. I'm proud that we were able finally to get it. It was a bit of a struggle over a number of years, but you know, that's part of it, you know.
We're sitting in a room you define as your tools. Tell me about these rooms.
Okay. The two listening rooms, one of them is about the size of the bedroom that Dad manages to get his little fingers on when they're empty nesters or they go to college. You know, they sell the kids furniture, out the door, Dad's got a listening room. So that's usually, you know, 12 by 14 or 12 by 12. He's not going to get the big bedroom, but he can usually get the little bedroom. And so I have a listening room just to show people that you don't have to have a giant auditorium to have good sound and good music and to enjoy your hobby. And then I have another room that I pulled my hair out over for a couple of weeks, trying to look at where all of the nodes were for bass, where things went up, things went down, where the nulls were. And I leaned on other people's shoulders that are a whole lot smarter than me by basically stealing everything I could off the internet, and started looking at rooms. So this room is designed so that if I put a set of speakers in here, I'm pretty sure I can put that chair where it needs to be for you to hear that speaker correctly. So it is a tool. And all rooms are. I mean, this is no secret. It's just that I was able to cheat. And if you're building a house and you can cheat, call me and I'll tell you what to do. But so this room is set up. It is a tool. I know if I put a speaker in where the bass is going to be, how it sounds. We've got obviously a little bit of sound augmentation in here, not a whole lot. You don't have to paint the room in foam to get it right. This room is a pretty good sounding room. I won't say it's the best sounding room in the world. I don't know what that would be like if I found it anyway. But it gives you a good, fair listen to a pair of speakers or to a stereo. And we can move equipment in and out of this room. So if you want to audition more than one set of speakers, we can put them all in a similar environment, which gives you a much better level playing field of how things are going to sound in your real life. There are devices you can listen to music on that are compromised. Size, drivers, power, the quality of the digital to analog interfaces, all of that other stuff. And it can mess things up a little bit. And of course, in the audio stuff, we're kind of geeks about that. But what most people don't know is that it's pretty affordable to take that next little step. It's not a big step up, and you can improve if you like music and you're listening to it on your phone on the kitchen counter while you're moving around. Do yourself a favor and stick your head in the door. We can fix that. The other thing is, and I'm just going to throw this in there because it's one of my rants, there's nothing wrong with listening to records or anything. Not everything's a great recording. You know, some are better recordings than others. But, you know, the Rolling Stones, maybe not the best recordings. You have people talk about it. I wasn't there, but the point is that if you put on their greatest hits and you're my age, you realize you still remember the lyrics to every one of those songs. You're tapping your toes. It doesn't matter whether it was perfect or not. It's perfect for the moment, and that's all that really matters. The point of all of this is get something decent and just enjoy the music. You know, put on something that you like, tap your toes, have a good time. There's no better way to shut down a day than pulling out a record or going online and streaming something that you haven't listened to since you were 20 or 18 or whatever, and listening to it again, and all of a sudden your brain will tell you where you heard it, who you were with, what you were doing, and it just transports you to different places. It's a good place to be.
It is time travel. One of the things we talk about regularly is trying to recreate the experience the artist wanted you to have. But a lot of times, they just wanted you to have fun.
That's true. That is absolutely true. I'm throw a record out there. I'll give them a shout out. The Jay Giles Band, they did a record called Full House. It was a live album, a bunch of old blues standards that they put their twist on, and it's not a great recording, but it is so much fun. Just throw it on and start tapping your toes. You know, you don't have to pick all of this apart, guys. You know, it's about smiling. It's about sitting down and going somewhere else. And a really nice stereo where you're hearing stuff that you've never heard before in a recording, and you go, how's that possible? Well, it's possible because it's not on your phone. Your phone can't do that, you know, so get a stereo.